Hi, my name is Jennifer. This is my first video to my channel. I've made a lot of videos, I just haven't shared any of them or uploaded any of them, but I figured why not, I'm going to give it a go. So I like to camp and backpack and hike. I'm going to be doing a solo traverse at the Presidential Range coming up soon. So I figured I would share some of the things that I will be packing and some things that I'm still going to pack that I don't have yet. First, I'll start by introducing myself. Like I said, my name is Jennifer. I am a 52-year-old high school teacher who started backpacking about 3 years ago. So I had anterior and posterior spinal fusion done. It's a huge procedure to secure my back, which I had unstable discs, movement in my discs. So I used to run, and after that surgery I was told I probably shouldn't run anymore. And I hadn't really been able to run for a couple of years prior to the surgery because pain had gotten so bad. So I started hiking, found that I really liked hiking, decided I wanted to summit a mountain. First mountain I summited was Mount Major in New Hampshire. And then I summited Mount Monadnock a few times, and we went into the Whites, which we always love to go to the White Mountains in New Hampshire. So we decided to hike some of the smaller trails, so Lonesome Lake, up to Lonesome Lake Hut. And then we decided that we wanted to try mountains. My husband came with me. I pretty much decided I wanted to try mountains, and he joined in. So we did Osceolas were our first, and after that I had that 4,000 footer bug, and we've hiked several of them in every season. We loved winter hiking. We just did a lot of that this past season. But now it's summer. I'm a high school teacher, so I have the summer off, and I've decided I really want to spend it doing some solo hikes in the Whites. So the first one I'll be doing is the Presidential Range. I'll be doing north to south, and that will mean that I have to drive up to Crawford Notch, which is a couple hours away from me. I am in New England, which is why I spend a lot of time in the Whites. So I'll drive up to Crawford Notch, park my truck, take the AMC Hiker Shuttle over to the Pinkham Notch area for the Joe Dodge Lodge, stay there at the Joe Dodge Lodge, have dinner and breakfast before taking the Hiker Shuttle over to be dropped off at the Appalachian Valleyway Trailhead, and then I'll start my traverse of the Presidential Range. I see a lot of people that do that as a one day. Bravo to them. I am not that person. Like I said, I did have spinal fusion done, anterior and posterior, and although I've healed quite well, that's too much for me. So I will be doing 4 days, 3 nights. I will be staying at the three AMC huts along that traverse. So Madison Spring Hut, Lake of the Clouds Hut, and Mizpah Hut. I have stayed at Mizpah Hut before. My husband and I did a Southern Presidential last summer, and we stayed at Mizpah. Great thing about the huts, if you're not from the area or you're not in an area where there are AMC huts, I know there are several locations in the country, but it's fantastic. We're members, so we get our rooms at a discounted rate, and you can pack less because you don't have to worry about your dinners or your breakfast. As long as you're there by 6 p.m., you get dinner and you get breakfast the next day. It's also a place where you can refill your water, stock up on things like you want to buy a few snacks. They have that. If you're not staying, you can even stop in and purchase some coffee or purchase a drink, purchase some pastries that they make. It's a great opportunity just to take a rest, use a bathroom, and have yourself a snack. So that means I don't have to carry as much food. I do have to have food, and I have to have extra food in case I need it, but I won't have to worry about that as much. Also, I don't need a tent or my sleeping bag. I do need to have protection in case something was to happen, so I do have an emergency shelter and emergency bivvies. As far as sleeping, the huts give you, it's a co-ed sleeping arrangement, so you're in a co-ed room with bunks. They give you 3 wool blankets and a pillow. They're in the mountains, so they don't really have the opportunity to wash those very often. So I will be taking, one of the things I will be taking with me is a Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. It actually gives you 7 degrees, so it increases your warmth by 7 degrees, but this is very lightweight. I can jump into it and then cover myself with the blankets and feel like there's some barrier. And then the same is true with their pillows. They have pillowcases on them, not an opportunity to wash them on a regular basis. So I'm going to be taking a pillowcase that I can take with me and put over the pillowcases there. I initially thought that I would take my Nemo Philo pillow, which is great. It's lightweight as well. But I figure this is going to be even, the pillowcase is even lighter weight, and so I'm not going to take this. I'll just leave back here. So let's talk about what I'm taking and what I'm packing it in. And what I'm packing it in is still up for debate. I have a couple of backpacks that are contenders. As you can see here, I have several backpacks. A couple of these are my husband's. Some of these are day packs. I have a couple of day packs. I have some trail runner vests or hiker backpacking vests that I use when I know it's going to be a quick up and down. Those are really lightweight. Not optimal for 4 days, 3 nights. So I'm looking at 2 backpacks as a possibility. My Osprey Aura 65 liter. I do think that this might be a little bit big given the fact that I'm not taking a tent or a sleeping bag. However, I do like all of the options for storage here. I love the Brain. I love all the different zippered sections on the Brain. One of the things that I really like about this pack is its side pockets. So for water, you can have the ability to reach in and grab it at the top, but also you can, if I can move this out of the way here, you can reach in from the side. So as you're wearing it, you can reach in and grab your water bottle, take a sip and put it back in. Now I don't need to do that, and I'll explain why in a few minutes, but it's great for things like sunscreen, bug spray, where you can just reach in and grab it and do what you have to do without taking the whole pack off and then putting it back on. I do find this to be a little bit top heavy, so when I'm descending, and this is probably due to the spinal surgery, my balance is pretty good, but when I'm descending, this top heaviness, I just feel like I'm a little unsteady with it, so that might be a reason why this isn't a contender. This does weigh about 2.5 pounds, so it's a little bit heavier than the next bag. I think what I'm going to end up doing is packing them both and then deciding which one feels best on me. So the next bag, which I absolutely love, is my Shadow Light from Outdoor Vitals. So this is a 60-liter bag. I absolutely love this bag. I know they came out with a new one and the frame is a little bit different. It's ultra lightweight. It makes it a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more able to carry a heavier load. I'm not going to get that. Eventually I would love to, but I've spent almost $350 on this bag, so I can't really just justify that at this time. I do love these back pockets. Everything goes in your main section, roll down, snap closed. One of the features of this bag that I absolutely love is the ability to open it and see everything that's inside. You get a quick view. If you want to open it and grab something from the bottom, you don't have to take everything out. That is really a very good feature. Helps quite a bit. 2 side pockets, your lower one and your upper one on both sides. Great large hip belt pockets. You can fit quite a bit in there. And then I have on the front here my little cell phone carrier and my hand sanitizer. This is the one I've used most frequently when we've gone on longer hikes. It is a great backpack and is probably what I'll use. I think I'm going to pack everything in both of them and kind of see which one is the heaviest, probably be the Osprey, but which one is the most comfortable. So that's still up for debate. So again, my sleeping is going to be my Sea to Summit liner and my pillowcase. As far as clothing, I plan on wearing shorts and a tank top. I'm gonna have extra clothes in case I need them, extra socks, which is always important. So extra socks for my hike and then socks for night. I'm gonna have an extra tank top that's breathable, doesn't hold moisture. Extra pair of shorts. I love these little outdoor research shorts. They have a lot of pockets. I like them that they're a little longer. less chafing. In addition to that, I have a t-shirt and a pair of long hiking pants that I can wear at night. So these are just Columbia hiking pants. I figure they will serve two purposes. I can wear them at night if I need to, and if I need long pants given the weather, I already have them. In addition to that, I have an extra pair of underwear, and I have one of my favorite pieces of clothing, which is the Black Diamond Alpen Glow. I love this hoodie. I bought it at on sale at REI, and it has been a phenomenal piece of clothing. I have hiked in several national parks, most recently Zion National Park and Bryce National Park. And if you know anything about those, it's a very dry, very hot environment. This was great. When I wore it, I wasn't very warm. It didn't keep the heat in. It protected me well. I've worn it in multiple weather situations, and it has been phenomenal in every situation. So I love this top. I'm also going to be taking my smart wool gloves in case I'm a little cold, a buff, neck buff that also serves as a headband, a outdoor research ball cap. I'm going to be wearing my Topos. These are trail runners. I love these shoes. They're so super comfortable. They have a really wide toe box, and they're lightweight. I love these for hiking. I am a little concerned about ankle support, so I know I'm gonna have to be extra careful. I am 52, so I worry about that a little bit more. I may be taking my Merrell barefoots. I'm not quite sure yet. These may be what I would wear at camp. I might find a smaller pair of shoes that maybe is better. I haven't really decided on that yet. So as far as protection in the elements, I have my Cotopax down jacket, puffy. I know in the mornings and at night it can be cold, so I may need that. I have my, I think this is my Marmot rain jacket with my pit vent, so in case I run into that stormy weather that the Whites is known for rain, I'll be protected. I also have with that a pair of rain pants if I should need it, so that I am staying dry. So that's the clothing situation. As far as my personal hygiene and my first aid and safety gear, I have a few things here that I'll go over with you. I have knee braces because those mountains, right? Again, 52-year-old menopausal woman, I need my knee braces. I have gaiters to prevent rocks and pebbles and sand from getting into my Topos. I have my camp hiking trekking poles. I don't see these very often, but I bought these camp trekking poles at a Sierra, and they have been the best trekking poles I've ever had. They're lightweight, they're fantastic, I adore them. So that's my gear for my knees, and for descent, you want those trekking poles. I have my first aid kit. So we bought several first aid kits and then kind of took things that we needed out of them, and I made this first aid kit. So there are a few things in here that there are several things I took out and then some things I added. We are in New England and it is tick season, so I do have my tick removal kit. I also have biohazard bags. I have gloves, Band-Aids, steri strips, gauze wrap, antiseptic wipes, alcohol wipes, antibacterial ointment, bleed stop, scissors, a tourniquet, and Q-tips and a one-way valve in case I had to perform CPR on anybody. I am a actual certified American Heart Association CPR BLS instructor, so I teach it, I can do it. So that's my first aid kit. I do have emergency shelter, emergency bivvies if needed. I have my headlamp. I have the Nitecore, which is a rechargeable headlamp. I really like this headlamp. It's lightweight, It holds a charge really well. It's bright. I've used it to do some sunrise hikes and been very impressed with it. I do have some safety pins. I'm not taking all of these. This is just what came with the kit, so I haven't pulled any out yet to decide what I am taking. In addition to that, I do have my toiletry kit. So I have the LP. If you don't know what the LP is, you might not be a female that hikes or backpacks or any of these things that are outdoors. So the LP allows a woman to urinate without having to drop her pants. So this fits in. I'm sure you can understand the process here. This, you definitely, if you haven't used one, it does take some getting used to. I recommend practicing at home before you're out on trail, but it is a handy device, especially in colder weather, which I don't really expect to encounter, but if I did. I have some gloves because outdoors, you know, you might not have a lot of places to clean your hands. I do have some Purell hand wipes, and I do have Purell on my bag. Also, I have some cleaning wipes. So they call them butt napkins. I have a few of those. I have my trowel if needed, and a disposal bag as well if I needed that. So that's kind of my bathroom kit right there. One of the things I have, I didn't want to take this because it is kind of large, but it is super lightweight. I can't imagine a cork ball would be any lighter. This is to rub out those muscles at the end of your day. So again, I am 52, I'm menopausal, so I have a lot of joint pain. This will help at the end of a day when I get to the hut, or even if I'm cramping. I have a lot of stuff for sodium and electrolytes to hopefully mitigate that, but you know, at the end of the day, you want to rub out those muscles. This will help, especially your hips, your glutes, your thighs. It is a little bit bigger than I would like, but I wasn't going to buy a cork ball when this weighs like nothing. I also have a couple of extra bags that I can hook onto my backpack for extra storage. This one I believe I'm going to put on the front and connect it to my shoulder straps. I can put my camera gear in it. I am using the Osmo 5 Pro right now. That's what I'm recording on. That's what I'll be taking with me. So I'll have the headgear so I can put it on my head. I'll also have the selfie stick so I can use it, and the tripod. The camera itself, the headpiece, some of that can fit in here. It came with, when I bought it, I bought the extra battery pack that had 3 batteries, which is great because not only will I have 3 batteries, and they have extra long life, these batteries, they last for quite a while. I did hours and hours worth of film in Zion National Park and Bryson National Park using 1 battery, but I can use the battery pack to charge my phone if I need it. I will have some chargers with me, but if I needed it in a pinch, I would have that extra charge ready to go. So this is going to hold my camera gear. It going to allow me to get it easily and access it and then put it away without having to take off my pack and make sure it's secure in there. This little REI pouch, I don't know if I'll use this or not. I have it out right now. I have used them in the past, but sometimes I forget that they're attached, and then I find out I find out that I dropped it or I lost it, and now it's gone. All right, moving on. So for water, I have a few things here. I do have the Migo bottles. I love these bottles. They're great. They hold 1,000 milliliters of water. They can be used just like a smart water bottle. So anything that would attach to the top of a smart water bottle will fit on this as well. Your filter. They also open like this so that they have easy cleaning, which I love. So I'm going to be taking 2 of these, and I'm going to be taking 2 smart water bottles as well. In addition, I have not really decided. I think I'll take it and then decide if I need it. I have my 2.5 liter Osprey hydro pack. I have a few different hydro packs. I have probably 3 or 4 in my freezer down here, which I keep them in order to help prevent bacterial growth. I'm not quite sure whether I'll take this or the Gregory. I tend to actually like my Gregory a little bit better. I also had bought this from Garage Grown Gear, so I love this little product. It allows your Smart Water bottles or your Mego bottles to be used just like a bladder. So this screws into the cap of your bottle. You remove the cap, you put this on, screw it in. This is in your bottle, and then you have your mouthpiece to drink from, which here is my actual mouthpiece that must have fallen off. Again, after I use this, last time I used it, I think we were in Zion. I cleaned it and then I put it in the bag and put it in my freezer after it was dry to prevent bacterial growth. Just makes it easy when you're on the go. You don't have to worry about pulling your water out to drink. So I have that. I also have for my personal kit, so my hygiene kit, I have a few things and then some bug spray and other stuff, but I'll talk about what I do that. I have my toothbrush and my toothpaste. I'm very big. I have the toothpaste tablets that you can use. I don't like them. In a pinch they would be great, but I am bringing my Crest scope, which I like. I also am bringing some Sea to Summit body wipes in case I just want to wipe down and feel clean. I know I'm going to be up there for 4 days, 3 nights. Right now, where I am in New England, we're supposed to get a heat wave in the next, starting in 2 days, where temperatures are going to feel like 110. They are saying that that's going to be for several days, that at least the next 7 days are going to be hot. It's close to the time that I'll be taking my trip. I know the Whites have their own weather system. I do have the Higher Summit Forecast app, so I will be looking at that. It does do several days out, but clearly that's not anything that you can rely on. So between that and the Mount Washington Observatory, I will check in and check on the weather. So I have that. I have earplugs. I know the huts give you earplugs, but I am taking my own. I have bug spray. So I did put some Leukotape on this bug spray so that you could peel it off. And I left a little lip on this so I'd be able to easily peel it, because I always find when it sticks to itself, it's so hard to get off. So I can open this. I have scissors that I can cut. I can use this if I have blisters with my off spray. I have some Lumi 72-hour deodorant, which I'm sure I will be putting to the test on this trip. I have a small sunscreen. I should be able to purchase more at the Hut, so I'll be staying at the 3 of them. Again, Madison, Lake of the Clouds, and Mizpah. So I should be able to purchase sunscreen there if I run out. I grabbed some hair ties so I can pull back my hair. I found this cute little brush which has a little mirror in it and a little brush, so that's lightweight, I can take with me. I wear glasses, and as you can see, and I really hate when they get smudged, so I am bringing some lens cleaner, and probably way too much of this, but I really hate when they get smudged. Kleenex, because my nose always runs when I hike. Toothpicks, just for extra oral hygiene. Mouthwash. Body Glide, because it's probably going to be pretty hot and I'm wearing shorts. Chapstick, because you need it. A bug net, in case those black flies are still out in force. I do have, this goes with my bathroom kit, but I do have this, it's like a Kula cloth. It's not an actual Kula cloth though. I don't think I've ever used it, so I'm going to see how it works and then decide if it's good enough or not. My husband, when I started solo backpacking, he did get me a knife with paracord. This is pretty lightweight, so that's going to go with me. I have waterproof or all-weather matches. I don't know why I have 2 boxes here. I also have a lighter. So I did wrap duct tape around this, and again left a lip on the duct tape in case I needed to repair something, the sole of my shoe, anything like that. It's simple to get. I know where it is. Quick and easy. I also have a couple of chargers. So these chargers are a little bit bigger than I would like, but they they're fine because most of what I'm taking is so lightweight and I don't need a tent or a sleeping bag or as much food as I would normally take. So both of these are solar chargers. They've worked really well. I've looked online. The reviews are somewhat good and some bad. I've never had problems with them. They charge my phone really well. So I have the 2 charging cords. One is going to be for my phone and one is going to be for my camera battery pack. And if these get low, I can just open them up and let them charge in the sun. And my experience again has been that they charge really well and they work great. I have it's more, not an all-purpose tool, but it's somewhat, so different types of screwdrivers, cutting devices, openers, just different things that you may need that can hang from my backpack. I think I said already a couple of times that I am 52 and menopausal, so my hormone replacement therapy is going with me. I have bear spray. I don't think I'll need it on summit, but on trail up and trail down I may. And I have my Jetboil. So although I'll be having dinner and breakfast at the huts and be able to purchase snacks, you do have to have food in case you need it. You have to be prepared for anything in those mountains. So I have my Jetboil inside here. I have some extra fuel in the base. So what am I bringing for food? A few things. So I have 2 bags here where one is going to be mostly my snacks. For my meal bag, I have a few different things. For lunches, because again, unless I'm buying something from the huts or I'm summited Mount Washington and I'm at the Mount Washington Observatory area and I can buy something to eat, I need to make sure I'm having enough calories for what I'm expecting my body to do. So I do have a few backpacker pantry meals. A lot of these are gluten-free. I have an autoimmune thyroid disorder, so I try to stay gluten-free for that. This is the peanut butter and banana oatmeal. I really like this, so I think I have 2 of those in here. I also have a backpacker's pantry, mango sticky rice, and a good-to-go mushroom risotto. I've always liked good to go. They have some good meals. I did bring some coffee singles, so these are just packaged. You stick in water like a tea bag. I know I've watched a lot of hiker videos, and there are a lot of hiker videos where they have this bougie coffee, right? I'm a pretty simple girl. I just have my coffee packets. They'll be fine for me. And then because sodium is an issue, you sweat a lot, you need your electrolytes. I have some quick tuna packets. So I have several of the sun-dried tomato basil, which just happens to be my favorite. There are 340 milligrams of sodium in each packet, and it's got a good amount of protein, 15 grams. I have several of those, and then I have a couple of the spicy Thai chili. I'm not a spice girl, so these I had at home, so I figured I'll just take them in case I needed them. And then for my snack bag, I do have my Sea to Summit cup in case I want coffee and I'm not near the hut. I can boil water with my Jetboil and give myself a cup of coffee. Say I'm somewhere and I just need the extra caffeine. For snacks, I do have, and this is gluten-free as well. It's not as easy as you think to find gluten-free beef jerky. This has 11 servings, oh, I'm sorry, 7 servings, but each serving has 420 milligrams of sodium. So somebody had mentioned to me the dill pickle packages, the single packages and the sodium, and that's great. And I looked at them and they had about 300 to 350 milligrams of sodium per packet. I know me, and I know I'm more likely to eat this than I am to eat the dill pickles. Although I love pickles, I'm not gonna, in that environment, I always have to force myself to eat when I'm on trail. I'm never hungry, and I often am not thirsty, so I have to force myself to eat or drink. So I want something that I know I'll be in the mood for at almost any time. How can you go wrong with beef jerky? In addition to that, I have some quick little snacks here. I have a few of the Honey Stinger caffeinated gel packs. These are great. They give you a few different things. This is strawberry kiwi. They also have 32 milligrams of caffeine, so yum yum. How can you go wrong with caffeine? I'm trying to see what their sodium is. They have 50 milligrams of sodium, so not a lot, but it could help in a quick situation. And I figured I'd just try some. I bought some from REI, and we'll see how they go. So I have a couple of these Honey Stinger, and again, these are gluten-free. I have several of the gluten-free salted caramel honey stickers. Caramel. I'm from upstate New York. I say caramel. I have several of these for quick snacks. We did buy several packages. My husband helped buy these for me, of sports beans. He's a big fan of these. These are full of electrolytes, and he usually will have them right before a hike and then mid-hike. They also have caffeine, and they are gluten-free as well. So they have, what am I looking at here? Vitamins B, C, other electrolytes, carbohydrates, 50 milligrams of caffeine. These are some of the other energy pouches that I got, or energy gel. They are gluten-free as well. So this is Espresso Love. This is Caramel Macchiato. I don't know if it's macchiato or macchiato. I think it's macchiato. And this is Chocolate Outrage. So I have those. And I have several Liquid IV Rainbow Sherbet. It's my favorite. I really dislike flavored water. I struggle to drink it. But I'm gonna have to force myself to drink this to make sure. And it's not that this is bad. It's not. It's really good, actually. I make a shake every morning, or smoothie, and I actually add half a packet of this to it. It's just, I don't like any flavored water. It's not my preferred. I just like regular water. But I have several of these. And I also really, like, what is the other one I like? There are several liquid hydration things that I like as well. And I have my spork, so I can stir my coffee and I can eat my meals. So this is everything that I'm bringing, and then I have a couple of ways I'm going to store it. So I really don't like to be disorganized, and I struggle with that. I always have struggled with organization, so I am very specific about like making a list on what everything is going, where everything is going to be, so that I can check that off as I go and stay organized. So I have several bags. I have 3 of these different sizes. One of these is going to be for my toiletry kits. One is going to be for my personal hygiene kit. And then one is going to be for my phone, my chargers for my phone and my camera. And then I have my dry bags. So I have 3 dry bags. One will be for my clothes, obviously. One will be for my food and my Jetboil, just so I know where it is and I can easily access it. And I haven't really decided what the third one is going to be for yet, or even if I need it. But that's everything that I'm taking. So I will be heading up to Crawford Notch again in a few days and taking the hiker shuttle over to Pinkham Notch, having a night at Joe Dodge Lodge, having dinner there, breakfast the next morning, before being shuttled over to the Appalachian Valleyway Trailhead and making my ascent to Madison Spring Hut and then Mount Madison. And then the next day I have a few summits before I end up at Lake of the Clouds, and then Mizpah on my way down. So I'm excited, I'm nervous. It's the biggest solo hike I've done on my own. I am a little bit older. I used to run quite a bit, but I haven't run in a long time. I have been hiking and backpacking. I know I can do this. It's just planning, making sure I'm prepared for the weather, making sure that I have everything I need, and mentally, making sure that I'm mentally ready for this. I know it's a grueling hike. I can't imagine how people do it in one day. I know I couldn't do that, but I know I can do it in the time frame I have. I just need to make sure that I'm mentally prepared for that grueling hike and what the effects that it can have physically on me and emotionally. I'm excited though. I'm really excited to do it. So the next time I see you, we will be on our way. Thanks for watching.